What's up, YouTube family? Thanks for joining me for another video. So I want to talk today about the importance of choosing to act on and energize thoughts that pop into your brain that come out of a place of love instead of thoughts that come out of a place of fear. So just generally speaking, we at our very core are the awareness of our thoughts. We are not our thoughts. And even though when we're sitting in a meditative space, completely blank, not thinking we're doing anything productive, there's stuff going on in the background in these other dimensions of reality that we can't maybe physically see that are happening, and there's information that we're integrating that's beyond our senses. So even though there's no thoughts going through your head, that empty space is where the magic happens. But when there is going thoughts through our head, we can use those thoughts to create any reality we please. And well, we can't necessarily determine every outcome, but kind of like sailing a boat on the ocean, we can't control the winds, but we can control the way we adjust the sails. And our intentions, our thoughts are the way we adjust those sails. So take, for example, I've been thinking about this recently, hanging out with people. If you have someone in your life that you really care about and you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I need to go, and they ask you to do something, right? And at your core, maybe you feel really exhausted and you don't want to do that thing, but you think I used to think this when I was little. I was really afraid of dying. I'd think well, they're not going to be around forever. When I'm older, I'm going to regret not hanging out with them if I don't hang out with them now, because when they'll be dead, I'll regret not going to this thing. That's a fearful thought. So if I would choose to hang out with that person when I'm exhausted and at my core know that I need rest, from a fearful place of thinking oh my gosh, they're gonna die someday, I'm scared of that, so I'm gonna hang out with them because I'm scared of that, that's coming from a fearful place. And even though in the short term, you might not see why that's bad, you're I'm hanging out with them, it's fine, everything's good, I didn't rest, but whatever, I slept a little later the next day. When over time, when you're continuously choosing to act from a place of fear instead of love, you're really limiting yourself, because we are actually, I'm telling you, we are infinite creator beings. We can set intentions and magnetize things towards us effortlessly and create heaven here on earth if we have the strength to continuously align our actions with loving thoughts and to act from a place of love and honest truth. So if you're always honest with yourself and let no word belie your thought, let no action belie your word, act from a truthful place and choose things that are in resonance with how you genuinely feel, even if it makes someone else uncomfortable, in the long run, that serves everyone. That serves the greater whole, because as we evolve collectively, as our collective consciousness evolves to acting from a place of love, then people aren't going to get that uncomfortable. As we grow okay with choosing ourselves, our truth, and being okay with making other people uncomfortable, then as we all evolve, everyone's going to understand that hey, if I ask that person to come and they cancel last minute, I'm not going to be pissed off, because I know that that's their truth. And I know that they're aligned with that. And even though it's not necessarily aligning with my truth, I'm going to love them, and I'm going to love myself enough to respect their truth while also respecting my truth. And I know collectively that that's going to lead to our highest potential. So act from a place of love, and if it makes someone else uncomfortable, as long as your intentions are coming from a loving, truthful place and you're being honest with yourself, then just sit with that guilt and know that it's okay and feel that feeling, and don't try to bypass it. We're human. We feel guilt. We feel uncomfortable disappointing other people, but for the sake of our collective evolution and to expedite this shit, you need to align with your truth and choose to act from a place of love. Don't choose to act from a place of fear, even if it makes someone else uncomfortable. So like I said, if you like when I was little and I was scared of people dying, and I'd be oh, if I don't go hang out with this person now, they're gonna die someday, I'm gonna regret that. That's a fearful thought. So hanging out with that person based off of that thought would be fearful. And I'm not choosing fearful thoughts anymore. I'm not compromising. I'm acting from a place of love and truth. And I know that even if someone else doesn't understand that, I am so confident in my truth that I know it will lead to the collective consciousness highest potential. And you will get there too. It takes practice. It's very uncomfortable at first to choose yourself over other people. You're gonna have that fearful thought saying you're selfish, blah, 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 blah. But actually it's not selfish to choose yourself, because you if you act from a fearful state and choose other people over yourself, in the long run, you're going to be playing small. You're not going to have this big aura of love that will positively affect the world like the butterfly effect. You're going to, in the long run, not impact as many people. But if you choose yourself, it's not selfish, because even if you're disappointing people in the short run, in the long run, you are going to evolve so much from practicing choosing your thoughts and actions from a place of truth that you are going to impact like millions of people and create such an enormous difference, which is the most selfless thing you can do. So yeah, it's uncomfortable disappointing people, but it really is the most selfless thing you can do, to follow what you resonate with, even if people don't understand it, and to love yourself enough to be comfortable with being misunderstood and know that you have the right to live in your own truth and respect other people's truth, okay? You are worthy to receive anything that you desire, as long as it's coming from a place of love and service to the collective. I love you guys. Mwah.